Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is actually a culture shock video. I promised you guys this video a couple of months back. Today I'm here to deliver on that promise. Okay, this video is basically me sharing my experiences, my first impressions, first things I never knew existed basically before I moved to the UAE. So this is me sharing all of that. Okay, if you are interested in this content, please just sit down and keep watching. By the way, if you are seeing me for the first time, you don't know who this person is, my name is Stephanie and I create content on lifestyle, natural hair and travel. If that's your vibe, please click on the red subscribe button, click on the red subscribe button down below and the notification bell as well, so you get notified each time I upload a new video. Okay, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. So let's get right into the video. So guys, I made notes, so if I'm looking down from time to time, excuse that, okay, because I'm just referring to my notes so I don't forget anything, so I don't leave anything out. Anyways, the first thing I noticed when I came here, the first thing I noticed was the cultural attire. That was the first thing I saw as I came down at the airport. First of all, immigration was scary but I just noticed the women in black with the hijabs and everything, and then the men in white. That it was scary for me because I've never seen that. Like everything I noticed for the first time, almost everything I noticed for the first time was just scary to me because it was my first time experiencing all of that basically. So yeah, I noticed that they actually take the cultural attire, the traditional attire very seriously, and they really wear it religiously. It's like an official attire. So if you go to like offices here, you'll see the workers dressed, government offices actually, if you go to government offices here, you'll see the workers dressed in the traditional attires. The black women will be wearing the black abayas and the men will be wearing the white gown, I don't know how it's called, and the white thing on the head and all of that, like the whole 9 yards. That was very new to me. I did not know. I know I'll see that basically. Yeah, the second thing that if you've come to the UAE you would not miss, you must notice it, is the heat. Guys, as soon as I came out of the airport AC and went outside, it took like 3 to 5 minutes to get to the car, to get to where the car was. Not even up to 5 minutes, like 3 minutes really. But the sun, I was like, what is this? I was like, is this how this place is naturally hot? Guys, because like if you watch my channel, you know I was living in Boya in Cameroon. Boya, it's actually a really cold city in Cameroon, and I left Cameroon in the rainy season. So I left the country when it was really cold. I was used to like the really cold temperature, and then I came here straight out of that cold. So I didn't have time to acclimatize to some heat first. I acclimatized myself to some heat first. I just came straight from cold to scorching hot. And I was like, why is this so hot? Why is the sun burning me? So basically that was what I noticed. It was so hot, and in that heat you're even trying to look for cold water to shower, and the water is hot. The water coming straight out of the tap is very hot, like boiled water. And I was like, why is the water hot? The heater is not on. Why is the water hot? And people told me, no, the pipes outside are hot because of the sun outside, so the water is automatically hot. And I was like, God, where does this end? It's really hot. I'm not even exaggerating. It's so hot. Yeah, I've just gotten used to the climate and all of that, but it's so hot. Like even at night when you're moving, like you might think that I'm talking hot is just the sun outside. At night the ground has absorbed all of that heat and it's releasing it. So when you're moving, you're feeling all of the heat coming from the ground up to your body. It's like you're in a pot being it's not scorching hot like that, but it's like really hot. You can feel the heat, and it's like I don't even know how to explain this heat. Like if you live in Douala, you're not experiencing heat. Come to Dubai, you experience hotness. The one is Dubai is hotness, not heat. Ooh, the next thing I noticed, guys, was the infrastructure. Guys, I left the airport and got home without running into a single pothole. If you live in Douala, you will know that this is a big deal because everywhere in Douala is potholes. Anyways, so coming here, I knew that the infrastructure is top notch, but experiencing zero potholes is a luxury. It's another kind of luxury I never knew existed. First of all, the buildings are so beautiful. The infrastructure is so beautiful. Like the architects that sat and planned this country knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing because they have the best buildings. The buildings are so beautiful, really beautiful skyscrapers, very beautiful infrastructure, the roads, the lanes. I mean, chef's kiss, so beautiful, really. I'm not even exaggerating. At night it's lit, it's really lit. You see the name of every building in lights, so you know where you're going to the night. You cannot get I mean, it's so beautiful. This place is so beautiful. That's one thing I could not even drink completely. It's so beautiful, really. Like every time I still go out and I still see how beautiful it is, I'm still amazed every time. Like you don't get over it. The next culture shock for me, the next thing that came as a surprise to me was segmentation in public transport and certain areas, like certain public areas, where you would see women are not allowed to see, I mean men are not allowed to see here. This area is strictly for women, this area is strictly for men. I did not know that kind of arrangement existed until I came here. First of all, in public transportation, most of the buses, the front seats, the front section of the bus is reserved for the women. So as a man, you're not allowed to sit there. If you sit there and you're called, you could be fined. I never knew that. Like even if the bus is completely full behind, if the front seats are empty and you're a man, if you sit there, you could be fined. So this was something that was really new to me. I never knew that this was a thing. In fact, it's not a thing anywhere else, I think. So maybe it's only in the GCC countries, but yeah, I never knew this was a thing until I came here. Women can actually sit anywhere that they want to sit, but men are not allowed to sit in those areas that are strictly designated for women. And also even in the trains, even in the offices, in the government offices, like I've noticed I've gone to some offices and they'll tell me, well, this way, women this way, men this way. So when you even enter, you already see that women are all sitting in one area and men are all sitting in one area. So you just see your gender and locate them. So that's basically it. That was something that came really new to me. I don't really have any particular feelings towards it. I think it's actually even safer for women because like you get a lot of stories of women being harassed on public transport, but this kind of arrangement stops that. So this is like really nice. And one thing so I noticed is that in this country, women are also like very respected in general. Women are really respected. It's like a really safe place, mostly based on the places I've gone to. I'll not be talking like for the entire UAE because I haven't been to the entirety of the UAE, but the places I've gone to, I know that I've noticed that in general it's a bit more safe. It's actually really safe for women, and women are like more respected in general. But also on the downside, one thing I also noticed was that black women here have the image of sellers, people who sell their bodies for money, and that was something that did not sit well with me because a couple of times I've been moving on the road and someone would just tell me, my friend, come, I'll pay you well. And I'm like, what? Like like this was so embarrassing and it was so annoying because like what the hell, like how dare you, like. But then again, I don't blame them because like that's the image black women have given them in this country. That's the image African women have given them in this country because many African women many African women sell their bodies here. So they just have the conception that African women are selling their bodies. But then again, it's like so rude to just meet a random woman on the road and start asking her how much and telling her you pay her well just because she's African. I mean, that's so disrespectful. Shared accommodations, guys, that was one culture shock for me. I don't know, I keep clapping my hands. Sorry. But that's one thing that was very new to me, because after boarding school and university hostels, I not think that in real life, like after all of that, you could still be living in that kind of situation. But guys, rent in this country is expensive. It is outrageous. It's so expensive, especially compared to average salary. The rent is so much. So if you actually want to like get an entire house to yourself, like an apartment, you know how back home you'll be working and then you can get your small studio for 50k, and your salary and everything, you can manage like your expenses and you're able to like go through life. Here you cannot get a small studio for 50k. Your small studio, in fact, it's not even like that. So rent is like so expensive, and people cannot, like the average person cannot afford to rent an entire house, an apartment for themselves. So that's why you get a lot of shared situations. You get like my living situation right now, like I live in a room, and then like other people also are renting a room in the same apartment, and then we share the kitchen. Like that's like something that's very common here. And there's something that's more common than this. It's like bed spaces, where you see like a room and you have like multiple bunk beds, and people share them and they pay rent. Like you would hear the amount of money someone is paying for a bunk, and you'll be amazed. It's a lot. And like if you convert it to your local salary, that's a lot. I mean, here, like it takes out a huge chunk of your salary if you even want to check it like that. When I came to this country, I experienced something called accent barrier. I don't know what accent barrier was. I don't even know if that's a word. Let me check. Okay, so Google says strong clashing accent differences can be a barrier to effective business communication, even between two regions that speak the same native language. Okay, so it's actually a thing. This country is made mainly of people who left their countries to come and work here. People whose first languages were not English, even though it's our first language. Anyways, yeah. So basically, people whose first languages were not English, like people who have never spoken English and then came to this country and had to learn to speak English. So you get people talking to you with different accents that have been heavily tainted by their languages. So sorry. So you're speaking to someone's speaking to you and you're not hearing anything. Like,
hello brother, you block two backside, you coming, cannot going inside, security say quarantine, okay, you understand, you come.
you're hearing words, but you're not getting what that person is saying. Like you hear go, you hear come, you hear something in between, but you don't know what this person is saying. And that happened to me a lot. Like even when I'll give my name somewhere for a receipt or something, for maybe for buying furniture or something, and then you'll give your name for the receipt. But so call back your name, and you don't know it's your name that they're calling. Like guys, that was. And sometimes these people. Oh, and I'm also speaking. Let me know if you make as if I'm speaking and they're hearing. So the same way they are speaking and I'm not hearing is the same way I'm speaking and they're not hearing. So I also literally have to try and be doing one word. It's not being easy. It's not even easy. The next thing that was really new to me was basically encountered during my job search process. So because there are so many nationalities in this country, companies have specific requirements as to what they want in an applicant. For example, I was searching for jobs one day, and then I came across this one. This one just blew me away. They were saying they're looking for pretty Filipinos only, and I'm like, so even inside the Filipinos that you're looking for, you want the one that is pretty. How does she even know that she's pretty? Like, how? So if you're not pretty, don't apply. Then what's going to be the standard for the pretty? How the grade the pretty? Wow. So that, like, the requirements will just be shocking you. And this was really new to me too, because I mean, in Cameroon you don't get to see fair women or black women only, or short women or tall. Like you don't get, like you just see the requirements. It's basically academic qualifications, experience, and all of that. You don't get to see it alongside physical requirements. And inside all of this, even one thing too that like was a bit unsettling for me was the fact that some job requirements will actually say Africans not allowed, and I'm like, why am I not allowed to apply for this job? Why? And this was me experiencing racism for the first time, because not even though not directly, but on a broad spectrum, saying that, knowing that I'm not eligible to apply for this position because of my race was was really new to me. So yeah, there was that. The next culture shock for me was Sunday. Sundays here are like normal days because everyone is going to work, everyone is working. Sunday is like the first day of the week. Sundays people are working. It's only probably maybe government offices that don't work on like weekends, Fridays to Sundays, but like every other person, and the majority of people here work in sales, work in the malls, work in customer service, and they're working 247. So basically Sundays are like weekdays, are like normal days, so you don't get any Sunday vibes, you don't get people going to church, you don't hear a church bell ringing. You just know it's Sunday because because the day before yesterday was Friday. That's how you know it's Sunday. So that's basically how it is here. And that was something that is very interesting, because back home on Sundays you will not see stores open, you will not see businesses open. The highest thing that you would know, in fact, you just see people going to church. Basically, you see people going to church, you see people dressed in their Sunday best, and it's only at night that you now see maybe all these bars and shops opening. Accessibility of things, like, okay, if living in Douala, this was also like normal for me, like having supermarkets everywhere, knowing that I can get something from anywhere I choose. But now also living in Boya, you don't like have a lot of supermarkets and stuff like that. So coming here and knowing that I have options of grocery stores, like I don't know if there's anyone that likes having grocery store options and supermarket options around them. I like living beside grocery stores, supermarkets, and all of that, because I don't like to know that I cannot have access to something, even if I don't need it, even if I'll need this particular thing once a year. Knowing that it's just few walks, few meters away from me is very very comfortable for me. But when I know that I don't have access to certain things, even if I don't use them as much, even if I don't use them at all, even knowing that I don't have access to things gives me small, in fact takes a bit of peace away. So basically that's it. So just having a lot of grocery stores around, a lot of shops around, a lot of malls around, it's actually like really nice. You also know that it will be difficult for you to get, it will not be that easy for you to get bored, because you can easily just take a walk and stroll to the mall and move around, because I don't live very far from the mall, so that's really nice. You just stroll around and then come back home, and then like you spend the day. I think I've spoken about like everything I thought of. If you are currently in the UAE and you experienced some culture shocks that I haven't mentioned in this video, let us know in the comment section, share that with us. And if I think of anything with time, anyways, this was just me delivering on my promise. If anything comes up with time, I'll just tell you guys about it. Moving forward, I want to be filming videos, I want to be filming vlogs, and yeah, so if I discover anything new, anything that happens, anything that comes up, I'll share with you guys. But as of now, these are my culture shocks. These were the new experiences, the new things I realized existed that I wasn't aware of. And yeah guys, if you've watched to this point, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, please click on the red subscribe button down below, join the family, okay? It costs you nothing. And click on the notification bell as well, so you get notified each time I post a new video. And if you like this video, please press that thumbs up button, like, so the algorithm knows people like this content and pushes it forward. Yeah. And if you don't already follow me on my social media platform, follow me at Stephanie Dingena. No space, no nothing in between, okay? Stephanie Dingena on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching, and see you guys in my next video. Bye.